Yeah.
That motion died for lack of a second, and Commissioner Bruce made a motion to approve 404 as long as we were able to get a proof of the deposits. So if Commissioner Bruce still has that motion on the table, I'd second it.
Okay, so the
Can we get a
motion just to,
clarification on that motion?
yeah, so it means waiving the additional tree mitigation fees that were proposed. So just, in other words, if once we find out that the 133, which nobody's really arguing, but that's okay, we'll get proof of it, we waive any further fees for tree mitigation. So this would allow the development without paying any further tree mitigation fees.
I would not make a motion to say that we're going to waive a fee. I'm just going to say, make a motion to clarify that this fee was for the entire project instead of for the initial phase.
Fair.
Which, if you look, this legal description is for 45.687 acres, which would be the entire future development, the entire project.
So you want to send legal back and do research?
Okay. The motion's been made. I lost you. It's not 45 acres, but that's
Yes,
okay.
yes, the legal description shows 45.687 acres for the entire project, which this agreement is for.
All right.
Therefore, I will modify or clarify my motion to state that I make a motion that this project, what are we on? 404, Seahawk Cove Extension, State Road 434, 419, that we acknowledge that the tree mitigation has been paid with proof of payment for this project, which will take care of the entire project and not just the initial phase.
Second.
Okay. Fair. Motion's made. It's seconded. I know Commissioner Baker had a question.
I do.
But, yeah, if everybody's okay, ask the question real quick for
Anthony,
clarification.
if you could clarify something on the first modification of development. It states that, let me find it again, sorry. It states that the developer has submitted the final engineering plans. And the rest of this agreement is based on those final, that's the very first thing that it talks about, and it references the project as the final engineering plans. Were the final engineering plans for the entirety of the 45 acres or for the 6 acres?
When the first modification was approved?
Yes.
But the first and the second version of the first modification?
Yes.
It was for the final engineering was for Michael Blake, I'm not Michael Blake, the Blake Apartments.
Okay.
6.5 acres.
And I believe it included Michael Blake Boulevard,
Okay.
too.
And it's specifically called out in here as its own name, much like Seahawk Cove has a name in this modification. Thank you.
Okay, so the motion was made, by Commissioner Bruce, for the record, seconded there with Commissioner Diaz and Christian.
And this motion, sorry, just for me, is inclusive of approving all of the final engineering, site plan, final plat waivers, all that except for that language related to the tree.
Right. The language, as I understand the motion that was seconded, it would include approval as recommended by staff with the exception that the arbor fee language in the draft development agreement for the Blake Commons be amended to remove any reference to an arbor fee.
Okay.
For this project.
And to include the $7,200 for the 3 specimen trees.
But they offered to pay for the specimen trees. Are you folks okay
Yes.
for Commissioner Diaz? Okay. To allow them to pay for the 3 specimen trees?
Can you clarify the 3 specimen trees? Because you also had a recommendation in there to save the large oak.
It's referenced in the conditions, but actual tree survey does not reflect removal of that tree. So it's just staff putting language to match what the tree survey indicates.
And that will come
they-
back later.
Yeah.
But if we're making the point that they've already paid the fees, then they can remove that tree as well, later with no fees.
No, it's actually in the condition that they're not going to remove it.
You're right,
That is
you're right,
correct.
you're right, you're right. That's
Number
not
7.
included at all. I apologize. I do stand corrected. I was mistaken. Sorry. Well,
We call the
Call
question.
the vote.
but if we set a precedent. But,
Call the
okay,
vote.
so call
You
a vote.
Christian, you understand?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Commissioner, or Deputy Mayor Resnick.
No.
Commissioner Caruso.
Aye.
Commissioner Diaz.
Aye.
Commissioner Bruce.
Aye.
Commissioner Baker.
No.
So the motion passes as it was written. The tree mitigation fees, other than the specimen trees, are waived, and development moves forward to the next session.
With
Okay.
proof
Well,
of
not
payment.
waived. Not waived, Mayor.
Or, I'm sorry, I'll stop
They're
using that
being,
word.
yeah, they're being
And please
stricken-
follow up with us. Let us
removed.
know if payment has been
removed
made or
from
not.
from the development agreement for the Blake Commons.
Remove, yeah,
And if not, they make the payment and we're good to go.
yeah,
Okay.
okay. Okay, that brings us to the regular agenda, item 500,